What's up, everybody? This is Nanocast, a podcast all about the cryptocurrency Nano. Nano's fast, feeless, scalable, led by a driven team. It's inspired thousands to participate in its apps and development. And on this podcast, you'll get to meet some of those people. This episode is a little Nanner Banter, where you get to hear a few guys shoot the shit, talk about Nano. We got Andy from Nano Things and the guy who is in everybody's business. We got Dave, the founder of the Nano Center and the ultimate chiller of shitcoins. And we got Justin Trudeau, the president of Canada, who also happens to be the lead marketer for the Nano Center.
Honored.
So we're just going to talk. I was thinking the first thing we should talk about is this cloud that's just kind of hanging over cryptocurrency. And that is Bitcoin. Because I was chatting with Troy and he was like, I want to do this thing, but I want to wait until there's like some good news. And I was like, I feel like there's good news for Nano every single day, but it just doesn't feel like it because Bitcoin is shitting all over us. What do you guys think about that?
Can appreciate what Troy's saying. I think I got some bits which I want to do, and it just never feels like the right time because there's always some kick in the bollocks around the corner that you're not expecting. And yeah, it's a good opportunity to build and create some stuff and get ready for when the sentiment changes around. I hope, desperately hope.
I agree with that. If there was ever a time to really kind of fly under the radar and get everything working, it's now.
I agree with that. I mean, I think it was how many people got in December. A lot. I had people that somehow knew I was in cryptocurrencies, and they'd hit me up and say, "How do I buy this? I bought Red Bull. What else should I get?" As expected. And then now you don't hear from those people, and they're not going to pay attention to what's going on. The people that are going to pay attention are ones that are in the community and actually active. And those are the people that probably learn the most in the bear market. If they stick around and kind of, the things we're doing right now probably wouldn't have done it, $37. It's because you're just so excited looking at your Delta all day. I haven't looked at it in a while now because, this is keeping me busy for one. But yeah, I think it's just you're either just in it, just waiting patiently, and that's it, and or you're actively doing something to save it.
You just inspired me to open up Blockfolio.
Yeah, don't look.
Oh, it's a brave move.
It was one of the all right, cool. So you guys are all doing Nano Center stuff. How's that going?
Yeah, man, it's going really, really well. It's busy. We're very active with it. I mean, it's non-stop pretty much, so it's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm shocked that just the sheer volume of ideas and everything that's coming in has been crazy. I think there was a lot of pent-up demand that for months everybody's just been thinking, why isn't this happening? Why isn't this happening? And then all of a sudden the floodgates just open. So it's been overwhelming.
Yeah, I guess that was. I think Andy and I, we've been on here before, and we've vented about the community many times about they expect certain things, but they won't do anything about it. And I had no tangible skills in this space, so it's like, maybe this is just kind of like a kick in the butt for other people, like the people with the talents to do something and have work as a team and create something. That was the overall idea, but I didn't expect it to grow like it is. And I think it'll get even bigger when we actually show that it works. Like the Mellow ads are one thing that we've shown is working, and it's very small and cheap. We have the video, we have many different things that are, when they come out, it's like, oh, okay, this took very little effort and very little time, and we could do things. So, it was just like what's the worst going to happen? It fails. We're in the same position we were.
It's been really incredible how quick things have happened as well. The momentum has went faster than we've been able to keep up with, really. So we had amazing ideas for projects coming in, proposals coming in before we even had the website up. So we've been trying to play catch up with the demand, with everybody's demand, and the Discord server is so active. It's pretty amazing. It's hard to get through all the messages on there and get over to Nano Trade in time for the next wave of ideas that come in. So it's been fantastic for that, really. A lot of people have sort of come back, like a lot of the Banano guys who haven't been on Nano Trade or talking much about Nano for a while have started to sort of come back in a little bit, which is really awesome, because those guys were probably the first wave of people who wanted to do something different, were frustrated maybe, or wanted to make something happen, and they went down their route of a meme coin, which at the time the groundswell was in that direction. I think a lot of those guys really want the best for Nano, so I'm seeing people coming back a little bit, which is fantastic. And another successful thing about the Nano Center. And
hopefully, I mean, it'll go both ways. Hopefully, I mean, while Banano is a meme coin, hopefully the ecosystems will benefit each other on both sides.
I think Nano have just launched a beta net tonight in the last hour or so. So that'd be quite interesting.
What's going on?
I think I've seen that on Twitter. Has anybody else caught that news?
It is a testnet beta.
Yeah, so it's going to allow people to have a little play around as well and experiment, play with the network. So I expect more ideas will come from that. That's given people a place to sort of learn and develop ideas.
Austin says beta testnet ready for your hacking.
Nice.
No, the only hacker in this room is Andy. So
yeah,
he's only real dev.
That's when I talk about I have no tangible talents. Is I can't even set up the website. I have Andy and Jeff and everyone else doing these things. I'm just this guy that says, "Let's do this, maybe."
I feel the same way. I see all these potential projects and everything happening, and I have no ability to make them happen myself. So I just throw the ideas out and hope something happens.
Yeah. Another thing, by the way, he actually rewrote the video treatment. So we had like an idea, and we kicked that around in there, and that was one of the first things. I had like an illustrator in mind for it. That I figured we could do it because I had a lyric video done a long time ago, and it was like, oh well, that was pretty cheap. This has to be just as cheap, or maybe a little bit more. Just kicking around those ideas, and that's one thing I kind of want to stress with the Nano Center is we see a lot of people that have ideas, but and those are nice. It's almost like we have people from Venezuela said we want to do something in Venezuela, so we said come up with a plan. Come up with some ideas, and then once you start an idea, it can kind of roll into something bigger. But we need an idea to start something. You can't just say, we've had people say, hey, let's get like a Super Bowl commercial. It's like, okay, do you know somebody, not now, obviously, but we can't do that. We want to do simple, small things that the community can do right now and grow it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the biggest advantage that Nano Center has is everybody can sort of take ownership for themselves. We've had a bunch of people come in and sort of present ideas, and kind of the way that it's been for the last 6 or 8 months, where you just hope you throw an idea out and somebody runs with it. But now Nano Center gives everybody the opportunity to take it into their own hands and make it happen themselves. They can get community support for the idea, and if people vote and they want to have it done, then it'll happen.
Yeah.
And I think that's great.
Just noticed that Austin said in the chat, breaking news, beta Docker has been built. Docker pool nanocurrency / nano-beta. So you can spin up your virtual servers and start playing around.
I can't wait.
Let's do it, Dave.
Yeah, let me figure out how to log in on my email first.
So I believe that. Okay, whose idea was the Nano Center? Was it Andy or was it I want to call you wimps.
It was Dave's idea, 100%. It was Dave's idea.
Okay.
And Andy helped me put it together because, one, I mean, I didn't even know. I knew about how to host or get a domain. That's about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then it was a mistake having me even do that because logins and everything. It's just a pain. But the idea was, I was mulling around a bit, and we'd vent back and forth in the chat, because the community, when the price started going down, and it's like, okay, people are getting angry and complaining, and it's like, caught myself arguing with people in there saying like, well, could you do something about it? I'm not doing anything about it, so I shouldn't complain. And then I got to a point where it's like, man, this is actually really going pretty low, and and maybe we should do something. And that could be because I don't have those skills, and I saw so many people that were really good at what they do, and some are doing like meme coins. This is fine. You can do what you want in your free time, but the idea was that they could do something meaningful with their time instead of just creating weird little things, or just having nothing to do, and just waiting. So, but Andy, like working with Andy's been really good, and then everyone else started coming in. It's like, oh, I work in marketing, and I'm a designer. I can make this and this and this. We can redesign pages that other people have made. And the one thing that I've also noticed is people creating these apps and these wallets and stuff. They're very technical. The thing is that I think sometimes they miss is people like me that I'm not technical at all, and they create a wallet that's simple to them, but it's still not simple to me or my mom. I'd still get the phone calls at like 8 a.m. How do I, do this? And it just kills me. I can't deal with that. So I think with the Nano Center, the idea is that these people can work together to create solutions. I almost set an example of how we can build things using a real team, and doing it in our vision instead of the Nano Core team is great, but if you build something yourself and do it yourself, at least you did it on your own terms, I guess. If that makes sense.
Yeah. We've sort of rode the price all the way down, and it's at the point now where you just want to do something. Like you just want to say that you did something. I know our timing probably isn't the best. We should have done it a long time ago, but it's that edge. We're fans of the tech. Obviously, we're fans of the tech because we've stayed around this long, and just feel like there was an opportunity where we could potentially give it a bit of a push, and it was a bit of a long shot, really. We didn't know what was going to happen, and fortunately a lot of people felt the same way, so that's kind of why we're here today, really, is because everybody just jumped on board.
I want to go back to the comment that Dave just made, talking about how it puts the power in people's hands. He says the core team is great, but etc. The idea of the core team is, I feel like obviously altcoins have been around for a few years, but like 2017 was really when altcoins took off, right? People in the crypto space, I think, including me, even though I've been around crypto for a long time, kind of got the idea the core teams, they're the ones that push this space forward. They're the ones that make things happen. And in a lot of ways, I see the Nano Center is kind of a way to get back to the way things were supposed to be, or the whole idea of cryptocurrency in the first place, which I think is pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's like you have, a good example, Roger Ver, he said he disagreed with how Bitcoin was doing things, and he forked it with other people that disagreed, and created his own Bitcoin, apparently the real one. And his vision and what he feels Satoshi's vision is. And that's, and also for many years, a lot of the advertisements and things you've seen with Bitcoin, it's just community, because it's not Satoshi, and those guys like, hey, let's do this. You really believe in it and think it's got a lot of potential. So, I mean, for me, it's like any job I've had, I've always felt at a certain point when I have a boss that I'm limiting myself. And in a situation like this, you can say and do how you and point this in the direction that you want to see it go. Essentially, you're limited by your own skills and what you can do and finances and etc. But with this team, you could even be an asset for Canoe or all these different things, Pocket Nano, and they could come and get designers and redesign their wallets and stuff like that, and work more efficiently. Instead of 5 people working on something, you have a giant group of people all going for that same common goal. And then it's like you're saving time, you're saving money, and everyone wins because they're all invested in it as well. So, not to mention, it's a really good resume builder for anyone that's trying to break into this space, for any developers and things like that. So,
all right, I want to focus in on the Nano Center, but before I do, a little word from our sponsors. This podcast and all the rest of the series are sponsored by 2 groups or 2 things. Nano Things, led by Andy. He's going to give away stickers again. So if you leave a comment, you'll get a sticker. Not in this chat here, but once the video is posted, that's how you'll enter. The second is Brain Blocks. If you go to nanocast.co/pod, once the pod is available on the Nano Things store, you'll be able to go and buy a pod there. If you use that link, you will help me out a little bit because you'll let Nano Things know that I sent you. Pod is a great way to set up a node right in your home. It helps decentralize the network and ultimately will make you lots of money because then your coin's going to go up in value. Not that that's what it's about or anything.
So that's a promise, Sean.
There's a lot of people watching this that think it is, yeah.
Whatever gets them to go buy a pod, I'll say it. You want this used car? It's only got 20,000 miles on it, and it really has 100,000. Okay, so back to what we were talking about. What are each of your roles for the Nano Center? We'll start with you, Dave.
All right. Well, I founded it, and that's roles are loose because, let's be honest, it is essentially a nonprofit. I mean, nobody's making any money doing this. It's not the goal. It's experience. It's working with really good people. The goal is that it would be self-sustaining. Let's say I get a full-time job. I'm not there all the time. Somebody else can take the reins, and this should be a cycle. Somebody's going to get busy, have a newborn, and can't focus enough time on it. That's why it's a community effort. There aren't leaders. There are people to help organize it, and we've kind of given people roles because they've taken initiative, and that shows kind of like leader roles. They can kind of do that, and those types of people we need. So Andy and I don't pull our hair out doing this every day because it is getting pretty busy, and Andy's taking the load mostly himself. But yeah, I guess I founded it with Andy because he really helped me put it together. But I'll let them fill you in on what they do.
All right, Andy.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't know how to describe it really. I just point people in the right direction, pretty much. Point people in the right direction and match people up who've got similar ideas. That's it really. Just I organize it. I've got no distinct talent in any of these aspects, but I've got a Twitter with 1,500 people on it and plenty of spare time to mess about on Discord. So that's it really. A lot of people are assuming that me and Wimps are the leader and they should come in to the Discord and put an idea, a basic idea, 1 or 2 lines, tag us and hop off thinking they've done their bit for Nano. But really we're just a couple of blokes who are trying to facilitate other people's creativity. So that's all I do. I just sit there all day and get people to go to the right place or to follow this basic structure that we've tried to set up to begin with.
Did you see Austin's comment while you were talking?
No, I'm not watching it.
Oh, big donation.
Donation.
Oh, is it really at that much? I'd be so happy if it was that high.
That's great.
We're halfway there.
Halfway there. And, this is a great segue to Justin, the person who gets people to donate, right? Lead marketer.
Yeah. I mean, really, I just,
oh my God.
I was super excited when I saw Dave actually posted that he was, the Nano Center was getting started. and I got really excited and basically just joined and, you know, PM Dave and said, hey, if I can be of any help, you know, this is my background. And we started talking about the video and that kind of stuff. And really the biggest thing was I complained that I didn't have any, I was always a gray name on Discord. I didn't have any good colors at all. And they were gracious enough to give me a good color. So that's how I got to where I am. And just been overwhelming, you know, the amount of people that have come in and jumped in at the last minute here and just contributed. So, you know, the whole lead marketer thing is just basically, you know, kind of a consolidation type of role where anybody that has an idea, you know, just bring it forward, and it's a community project. So anything that can help, you know, whether you have skills or not, ideas are what we need. You know, there's so many people that are involved now that have the talent and have the skills to put it together, connections, all that kind of stuff. So just bring it forward and let the community vote, and, you know, we'll make it happen.
Sweet. I was wondering if you guys could tell us a little bit about the exciting. Well, actually, before we do that, Dave, what would you say is the main goal of the Nano Center?
I guess it's to mostly. I'm losing words here. Essentially, it's pretty much a marketing vehicle for Nano, and to build awareness to everyone out there. I mean, there's a lot of people, and I've been to meetups in New York. I went to Consensus and different things, and asked people about Nano, some VC people and stuff like that, and they're like, "Oh, what's that?" And for me, it's like, okay, nobody really knows about this, even though it was one of the biggest gainers in December. Not many people know about it. I see a lot of people, and I used to be excited about other cryptocurrencies. Okay, I think everyone got to a point, and then they used Nano, and I said, "Wow, this is a lot easier to use. This is way better than the other stuff." And that's why I think a lot of us are still here. Just that's why our Discord's active. That's why the subreddit is active. I think we need to make people aware that this is a really good cryptocurrency. This is just one of the best things out there. It has potential to actually be a currency, especially in developing countries and stuff. So for us, I think that was the main goal. It's like get people to know what Nano is, why it's better than the other cryptocurrencies, at least in our opinion, and then go from there. So yeah.
Sweet. All right. So what would you guys, what are some exciting projects or exciting adverts you guys are working on at the moment?
Andy,
Well,
about the
main thing that we've got going is the KPI Nano esports proposal, which was brought forward by MKD or Mike Doyle from PvP.me, the Nano gambling site, betting site. He brought a fantastic proposal. You know, we talked about people coming in and dropping in one or two lines and hopping off. Mike came with a fully researched proposal with a 7-page PDF. It's all on the website for you to see. He basically worked everything out and presented it to the community. So it was the first idea which came pre-packaged for us, where we didn't have to faff around and try and get it to look appealing. Mike done all of the work. A great ambassador for Nano. So we've put it to the community. We actually had a voice conversation. We had like 40 people in the voice chat. There was about 100 people online, and had this sort of open meeting with Mike, and Austin from Core was there as well, acting as a community member. And it was fantastic the way we all discussed it together. People typing in the chat, people talking on the mics. It was great. We recorded it. It's online for people to listen to if they want to see how the idea was built over the course of that hour or so. So yeah, that's our main one at the moment. We've rushed our website out so we could get it up there and show it to people, and we're taking donations.
Which you can find at nanocenter.org.
It's nanocenter.org. It certainly is.
Yeah,
but it's spelled the American way.
Yeah, we spelled it the American way because English derived from here, so we went with that. Real English. but another thing is, he mentioned with Mike and PvP me brought that idea to us. We had a voice chat with him. He's like, "Hey, listen, I have an idea. And I want to get it done." And obviously, they don't have the team, but within Nano Center, this is a good example. There's a bunch of people there that can help them build things, and it's free work essentially. And it promotes PvP me, but it also promotes Nano. You know, it's like they want to see the adoption of Nano in gaming and with streaming and things like that. So he said, "I have this idea." We're like, "Okay, great. Just come up with something." And I think that's what we should stress is just come up with ideas. I had a video idea. Here's the illustrator. Can someone help me rewrite this treatment? You know, because I write poorly. And it just comes together, and it's like, great, we have that. And then other video ideas came into play. I said, all right, let's get this one done first. And we have to show the community that we can actually get things done. And I think more ideas will flow in right after that. But yeah.
Absolutely. Maybe we should talk more. We should maybe talk more about Mike's proposal, because it is such a fantastic one. It's to change the name of a relatively well-known in Spain CS:GO team to Nano KPI. It's to redo their jerseys with Nano branding. Mike has assured us they're in with a half decent chance of winning, so there's potential for more exposure there. There's
I think they only need one win to get to the finals.
Yeah. So it's a good investment for the community. We definitely feel it's a good investment for the community. I mean, we've helped develop the idea and put it on the website, so obviously we believe in it. Mm-hmm. There'll be a booth, a stand type situation with staffed with people, getting people to interact with Nano through various ideas which are being discussed on the Discord at the moment. Silly games, maybe even some geocaching around the event, whatever. So it's just really, it's a really good example of what we want to happen through Nano Center, and something which has got tons of potential. Yeah, and it'll reach a massive audience.
It's been great too. I mean, you figure the Nano Center has only been established essentially for basically 2 weeks, and in that time we've completed a video. There's mellow ads have been gone out. The KPI has come together. It's just been crazy the amount of work that's gotten done, and it just shows the power of community when everyone comes together with the same goal. You know, it's just insane the amount that has gotten done in that short of a period of time. And, you know, it's amazing what we can do in the future, you know, when we really get established resources, you know, with the website and everything, and the community voting on projects. It's going to be great.
Yeah. It's a really interesting model of decentralization. Thinking of like masternode coins like Dash. Like that's the new decentralization. Like, you know, you get these people together and they have this collateral and then they can vote on things to happen. But it's not really decentralized at all, for a number of reasons. I mean, it is in some ways, but it isn't in other ways. But this is like truly decentralized, which also kind of leads to the question of like, what happens if you don't get the funding? Or is there a big risk to not getting the funding for projects?
Not really. I mean, because we're setting up, we haven't really laid out a strict governance yet, but we're using brain blocks to accept the donations. So if a project sort of gets lost, or we aren't reaching the goal, people aren't into it, we can refund the transactions from the account using the awesome magic what Ty can do on his Mac. So we can send people their donations back. Obviously, we need to figure out, you know, when would we do that? At what point would we just decide a project is finished? But because we're so new, we're just setting up. We need people to come on board and give us ideas. You know, we all need to work together to build this as we all want it to be. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we're trying to figure it out, and as we go along, we're clearly winging it. It's two weeks we've been going. We're doing the best thing that we can. I mean, we want to move to a multi-sig wallet as soon as we can, as soon as Core release a relatively user-friendly multi-sig wallet, so that no one person holds the funds. That's something which we are quite keen on doing, so that we can show the community that, again, where it's decentralized as possible. There's no one person behind everything or holding on to things. So we're just trying to figure it out, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that Dave's lips are pursed, ready to add his 2 cents. So let's hear it.
I've always got something to say, but I think that's the other reason. Starting this is another reason why it's like, you know, I'm not anonymous. It's, you know, at this point, it's really about trusting in people. Obviously, you're a stranger on the internet, but like I watched a Canoe video with Goran, and he's like, you know, I understand a lot of people in these anonymous developers and things like that. You know, we want people to be able to trust us, and but you know, you just want to make sure people can feel confident that you are capable of doing things. That's why the video, I was going to fund it myself, just because I didn't know how to handle the funds within, you know, Mellow Ads, they could donate directly to it pretty much. In the video, it's like, oh, well, it's my money anyway. And then obviously this KPI thing's been a bit interesting because it is a large amount of money, but you know, obviously we're halfway there right now, which is good. So people, I think they see what we're doing. They're trusting in it right now. And once we release some things, I think that's going to go a long way. Plus the multi-sig will just help them feel even more secure.
Mm-hmm. We got $3,000 in the KPI one at the moment, so that's unbelievable. That's 24 hours that proposal's been live, and it wasn't, and it publicized massively initially. So that just shows there's a massive need and a massive edge for the community to get involved and to make something happen. And they put in their goddamn $2.25 nano right where their mouth is. And
I would think it'd be a lot less, because
unbelievable.
In Discord, everyone makes it seem like they're so poor. I mean, but we got 3K in there, pretty good. So
I think people are struggling. Well, we're all struggling, aren't we, from where we were before? But you can see that the community is really strong. We are a genuinely strong community, because this wouldn't happen if people didn't give a crap. I know volume's down on the chat and on Reddit and things like that, but people are just still there, still waiting, because they believe in the technology, and we've all used it. We all see how well it works. So it's really, really awesome. That's made me feel so good to see that a proposal like that has done so well in such a small period of time.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I even was asking in Discord the other day, you know, I said, is there any other community that sort of bands together the way the Nano community has here? Like I said, within the last 2 weeks, you know, it's just been shocking. You know, you go from, if you look at the price action, you go from $37 to $2.25, and you still have this just amazing community that's, you know, rallied together and, you know, literally at this point put their money where their mouth is. So, and, you know, it's just great to see. And how could you not have a bright future, you know, when you have that kind of community behind you?
Yeah. Nano Center, revolutionary. Good work, Dave. You're going to change the landscape of cryptocurrency forever.
Yeah, I hope. Another thing with the name, the funny thing with the name too is it's only called Nano Center because everything good was taken on Twitter in the domain. So that's why, you know, we're Nano Center. There's probably a lot cooler names.
We wanted
like
the
Nanocast. Nanocast was taken.
Yeah, Nanocast, Nano Foundation was taken. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody squatting on the Nano Foundation.
Yeah, I don't know those guys. Wasting their time.
All right. Hey, if anybody has questions, even if you asked them already, this is a good time to type them in. And because we're going to look at those next, if there are any. If there aren't, we'll just keep talking about crap. Justin, as somebody who has experience in marketing, what is the best thing the community can do besides bringing a well thought out, written out, what's the word I'm looking for? Proposal to the Nano Center? What's the best way people can market?
Well, really, at this point, that's really what we're looking for. Like I said earlier, you know, there's so much pent up demand, I know, people have been asking for 6-8 months really since, January, February, like why aren't we doing this? Why aren't we doing this? Well, now's your opportunity. This is a community project and anybody can contribute. Even if it's a simple idea, bring it to the forefront, let the community vote. If it's a good idea, it'll happen. If you have skills, bring them and offer them. There's never too much help, whether it's contacts within the community or, skills that can be beneficial for other projects. The Discord is big right now. The website is going to be incoming at any point here where, we're actually going to have the community projects up for a vote where you can basically vote with your nano or with your dollars and say you want to see this happen. So anything that you have, bring it forward. Even a simple idea can turn into a massive campaign, with the community response. So just bring it to us and we'll make it happen.
Yeah, we're really excited to get nanocenter.org up with the project fully listed on there, all the links sorted. It's still a new site, so if there's things on there that people think could be done differently, know how to do it, have ideas for the website, then please come to the Discord and help out and contribute, because that's all we are. We're here to receive people's hard work. If people want to work hard for Nano, the Nano Center is a place to come. Absolutely.
Sweet. I think Ty is going to come on and ask us a question here in a second, but until he does, this idea of decentralization, what do you think?
Oh, with the 33%, yeah, I think it's a great step. You'll see a lot of people, and I've seen some people that maybe are in Bitcoin and stuff like that, and you'll see a lot of them saying, "Oh, it's not fully decentralized," and I see that being thrown around a lot. I think, and Zach made a comment, but taking the necessary steps to get there by trusted nodes, reps, it's important. So, here we go. We got Ty in here.
Ty, you here?
From Brain Blocks, by the way, if you guys are not aware.
Ty. This isn't working.
Jeff just made a comment. The site is open source. You'll see it in the comments. Maybe we should list that.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
On GitHub.
Ty, welcome to the podcast All About Passion, where you can learn about how to direct your love life in the best way possible.
While Ty's getting sorted, man, a overlooked thing to do with the decentralization at the moment is the move that the team of the Nano Foundation have made to randomize the representatives on the iOS and Android wallets. People have been saying for a long time, what's happening about that? What's going on? Well, they've found a list of people that the community trusts largely, and I've randomized the representative allocation for new seeds generated on the mobile wallets, which is that's a big move from their point of view. I think they should be given credit for that.
Yeah, it's great, and if you really stop and think about it, I mean, Nano in itself has only been a real project for, I think Colin went full time in October or November, so 6 or 7 months. If you put it in perspective, I know that's like in crypto terms, that's like 5 or 6 years, but realistically, it's the reps now. The devs own less than the 50% of the total in a 6 month period of time. So, and it's only gonna decrease from here. So that's just great, and you can't ask for much more than that in the limited period of time that they've had. It's just wonderful the way they've initiated especially being one of their core principles is to decentralize the network, and they've already basically achieved that goal. So
Yeah, with the no incentive as well, in a sense, obviously.
So someone just donated 600 nanos.
Yeah.
Another 600.
Yeah,
Another?
unbelievable.
Okay.
And someone has just sent a transaction for 601 nanos to the proposal for the
Awesome.
KPI.
Cool. It's awesome. Well, thank you, whoever that was, if they were actually watching this. It's
Yeah, it's
big.
unbelievable.
It'd be great to have this succeed. There's going to be a lot of eyes on this. I mean, it's going to be, TV, Austin was saying as well. It obviously is going to be Twitch. There's a lot of viewers. So, I mean, people will, know about it. And the idea is to have a booth and things like that and educate people on it as well there. I wasn't on that call. That's another thing about the Nano Center. You do not have to work 24 hours a day. I was not on that call, so these are just things I've been caught up on. But it seems great.
And
Hey,
that was
Ty, you here this time?
I believe I am. Can you hear me?
Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hold on one second. Justin was going to say something.
all I was going to say was the KPI proposal was great. The way that went down, basically the proposal, Mike sent that through the Discord, and then within 20 minutes we jumped on a audio call through the Discord channel and just brainstormed. There was, I don't even know how many people were on there, 30, 40 people. Immediately went through, all the options that we had for the KPI proposal and got it happening within an hour from the time it was proposed. So it just sort of shows the power of the Nano Center and how quick these ideas can come together. So it's really unbelievable. And the event, I believe, is July 14th, so only a couple of weeks away. So we went from 0 to 60 in essentially 3-week period of time. So it really just shows how incredible a community can be when everybody comes together.
Yep.
All right, Ty, you're here. You made it on. What do you got for us?
All right, so this is with a big warning that I didn't pay attention to the site at all yet. Is there a way for other people to go on there and set up a new project without going through Discord?
Not yet, but that's an idea you should add to the Discord that we can get on.
I think we have had some discussion on setting up a form basically for people to bring their proposals in via a form setting on the Discord. I don't think we would possibly not have it so that people could just launch a project straight away on there with a address, because it's people are just going to launch anything and have addresses up and buttons for people to donate. We probably have to have some sort of at least check system that a proposal isn't just TV ad,
like a review
10,000 nano donate now. So yeah, that's a cracking idea, and I think it is on the horizon at some point.
So here's part 2 to my question. Is there any new projects coming that I can potentially donate to?
Oh,
yeah,
you are an awesome guy. We've got the next one after KPI, which we're looking to work on, is Facebook. The news broke yesterday that Facebook are now allowing crypto ads again. We've been in there and tested it, and we can get nano ads on Facebook. So we're looking for people who've got experience of advertising on Facebook or general marketing experience to come and put together some sort of proposals for us for an ads campaign on Facebook.
There's another one too. I'm speaking with one of the community members that's from Venezuela, and obviously I think most of us are familiar with what's going on down there. He messaged me maybe a couple days later. I had him finding websites, exchanges, the top places where you can advertise and things like that in Venezuela. And then one day he wrote me and said, "Hey, I want to put a team together down here, kind of like Dash, and help promote Nano. I want to come up with an idea." And we said, "Go for it." So we created another section on Discord. He's pulling together people. He's going to propose an idea. it's kind of like, with Mike and PvP. He said, "Hey, I have this idea. Like, cool, pull it together." And he did that in like a day. I don't know. I think it was a day. He had this giant PDF of. I mean, people are really good at what they do. So it's pretty interesting. You could just come in and I think, hey, I have this idea to promote here, here, and here. This is what I can do. These are the people I want to bring in. This is probably how much money we're going to need. Yeah, and that's I guess that's the route right now that we're comfortable with.
So go ahead.
No, carry on, Ty.
So on projects, is there like a specific span of time that it has to be funded in, or it goes away, or is it just kind of open until it's funded?
That's something which we're trying to figure out. I mean, if a project falls dead on its ass, then we can use the fact that we're using brain blocks for the donation buttons on the website means that we can refund people briskly once a project is decided to have not been successful. But yeah, that's something which we're going to have to talk about and see if we can get a discussion going and find a solution which is good compromise where everybody's unhappy.
Yeah,
that's probably going to be the right answer.
We've had people come and join in and say we should do this and this and this, and then they've gone and helped make that happen. Because I think I could speak, I hope I can speak for Andy, but he's spread thin. And a lot of us have day jobs, and to implement these things, we don't want to, stop projects or slow down on projects because we don't have these other things in place. We're hoping somebody can come in and help put those things in place and secure things and help us in that manner, or pick up the slack on some other projects where we're kind of behind. But all those things are great ideas. It's just a matter of we just need more people to help out.
Yeah.
And if you don't have if you're not a coder, you can't develop or make websites or design, you can do things like that. Like, hey, I'll help organize this and help organize that and help pull a team together for that. That's as well.
That's pretty much all I do. I mean, I can't really build anything, so I just kind of try and gather people together.
Good. Yeah. That's great.
Despite the fact that you're building the pod.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if people should buy that. I want to trust it personally.
Well, once
Totally
it actually gets to my house, I'll let you know if it's worth buying.
Yeah,
Sean, I'm going to try and send it to you as soon as possible. All right, that's actually what I was just doing until you distracted me. So anyway, I'm going to jump off. You guys can finish.
All right, sounds good.
All right, take care.
Thanks, Ty. Bye. All right. Well, we've been talking for a long time. People may love this. People probably came late and they're like, "Oh, you guys are leaving already?" But yeah, I think it's time to go. So I don't really think that we can answer this question now, but I think the question, what we should kind of leave everyone to think about, is how do we separate Nano success from Bitcoin success?
I would say, if anything, the biggest thing that I see going to the future is, really, I mean, if you look at it from a pure currency point of view, there's nothing that compares to Nano in the crypto space at this point. And, I've always been a big fan of not really comparing Nano to other cryptos. If you look at Five Guys doesn't compare themselves to McDonald's, you already know that you have the best technology, and you're basically only selling the difference between traditional banking and Nano by itself. So going forward, I'm a big fan of not even necessarily saying that Nano is the best cryptocurrency, but just saying that Nano is the best currency option for the future. From here on out, with virtual reality and augmented reality and everything that's coming down the pike here in, within 3 to 5 years, I really see a huge future for Nano, for whether it's micropayments or online payments. That's something that no other currency can really offer at this point. And I think that's the biggest target market, is anything that has to do with online payments, as well as obviously the emerging markets like, Africa, Venezuela, places that don't have access to banks and things like that. There's no other option when you look at the cost, whether it's for sending or receiving money. The feeless and the instant transfer is just gigantic. So I don't think there's a lot of comparison. I think it's just a matter of getting the word out there to everybody and to show them the power that Nano possesses going forward. So that's my biggest thing.
I totally agree with that sentiment. If we were like a computer game character, we definitely get nerfed in an upgrade, because we're hitting the top boxes in so many different categories that the other currencies are going to try to drag us down, and some people are going to be, especially the Bitcoin community, are going to be very weary of something like this that can come and do the same job better, cheaper, faster, more environmentally friendly. I mean, you've got Bitcoin set to use as much electricity as Ireland next year, and to send somebody a little bit of Bitcoin, it costs your weekly electricity for your house. That's preposterous, and it's completely unsustainable. So something like Nano, which can do it with a little, like a flick of a light switch worth of electricity, it's the perfect coin to get behind, especially in a bear market like this, to build up and to strengthen. So I'm probably more excited now about Nano than what I was in December when my Delta was telling me that I was fake rich, because I've took the time to learn about what it can really do in the world, and it's really exciting.
Yeah, and I'll add to that a bit, with Nano, and I think we'll have to create the awareness of it, but I also think what we can do as a community is to make the ease of use a lot easier. I mentioned earlier, like your grandparents and stuff like that need to be able to use this in places like Venezuela. We've had people do translations and things like that. So when we do advertisements, they're not in English, we could do it in Spanish, and we could do advertisements, banner ads, and different things. We've had people translate banner ads, and we've done it in South America and things like that. And that's important for adoption. But moving forward, a lot of these wallets, these websites, the use like BrainBlocks makes it pretty easy to use, back and forth. Innovating as a community and pushing these developers to do something to make it easier. If Nano becomes one of the easiest to use in the community and outside the community, I think it's quite possibly be one of the first adopters for sure. It's just a matter of getting there before everyone else gets there. And I think that's really important. We have to, as a community, if you create wallets, great. There's a lot of different things you could do to make it a lot easier that people are used to. It has to be easier than using, Venmo and things like that. These apps and stuff that we're using. If you can get that to happen, people will use it. It's that simple, because we have a short attention span. People don't like doing complicated things if they don't need to. So to create the adoption, I think we need to have those things ready. So when we're spreading awareness, for them, it's easy to use. It's like as easy as Coinbase or whatever, even easier. So I think that's something important to focus on.
Mm-hmm. Adoption. It's talking with, something that's never going to get released, but a conversation I had with Troy. We kind of talked about this idea of, what was the word we were using? Partnerships versus adoption. And how in a lot of ways, when we say partnerships for Nano, what we're really talking about is adoption. We need to get more people to use it. We need to tell our friends, our family, our cats, our dogs about it. We need to use that, 5 degrees of separation we have from everyone in the world, and figure out how to get in contact with Jeff Bezos and Tim Cook and make it happen. Mm-hmm. So
I agree with that 100% too. I mean, the biggest thing is everybody says, partnerships and adoption. I think the biggest thing is to make Nano so easy to use and so many people using it that whether it's Amazon or eBay or anybody, they have to accept it, whether it's through browser extensions or, be it whatever the technology is. is we just have to get so many people on board that everybody is forced to use it. You know, anybody that makes fees currently on accepting payments obviously is not going to be on board with taking a zero fee transaction. So we just have to have so many people on board and so many people wanting to use it that they're forced to use it, or else they're going to lose sales. So, you know, it's what I basically call forced adoption through. It's just so easy to use. It's essentially replacing a debit card. So easy to use online that, you know, there's no other option for you other than to start accepting it.
Yeah, that happened in Kenya, pretty much. They use M-Pesa through SMS, and it was like I read it was mobile minutes. That's what I heard. The Wikipedia said something a little bit different, but now it's outside of Kenya. I mean, it became a national currency there, and outside of Kenya, I think 6 other countries accept it because, you know, it's just you're right
People
there.
use it.
You can send it through, and a lot of people they don't have smartphones. They have, you know, your standard phone. So there's so many interesting things you could do if people really push the limit and go out there. And, you know.
That's something which is really encouraging about the Nano Foundation as well, and the roadmap which they released. They can see that too, and that's something which the smart card technology which is being talked about and as is being developed has so much value, because it's not going to be the Western world that wants to save a percentage on things, because the Western world, the first world, can just spend money, and money is available if we need it. We can work for it. It's in the places in the world which people want to work, people want stability and don't have it for whatever reason. It's about getting a cryptocurrency to those people in a way that they can use. Will be the first place where cryptocurrency is adopted in the world. It's not going to be with us in the first world. It's going to be with the people that really will need to utilize the virtues that it has. Mm-hmm. So that's why I think working with things like Venezuela is really, really positive and encouraging, because that can change people's lives. And even if this thing doesn't go where we all hope it to go, if it can get to a place where it can bring stability to a few people's lives for a short period of time, then it's done something, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's a win.
It's worth something.
Well, I know we could all talk forever, but I think that is a good place to stop. So thanks, guys, for coming on, and thanks to everybody else for tuning in. Next week, let's see who we're going to be talking with. Jeff Kilroy. So that's nice. From Nano and Nano RPG and all kinds of other good stuff. Yep. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.